to be a slobber knocker. As they say, anything can happen on Wrestle Lost. Welcome to Wrestle Lost, folks.
Ah, yes, this is yeah. This guy's one snobby cast.
The sniper.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wrestle Lost. It feels like it's been a while, even though it hasn't. But to get it going, here's Johnny.
Yeah, so I'm going to be covering as many stories that I can from 2 weeks. So since we didn't go on last week, I want to go ahead and give our condolences to the family of Bob Miller, who was Bushwhacker Butch. Also, condolences to his partner, Luke Williams, Bushwhacker Luke. He passed away on WrestleMania Sunday. They went to LA for Mania weekend. I'm assuming they were going to be at WrestleCon, and he had some kind of medical episode on Friday, and had to go to the hospital and just passed away on Sunday. He was 79, I believe, 78, 79, somewhere in there. Before they were in WWE as Bushwhackers, they started out as the Sheep Herders way back in 1968, which or the complete opposite of Bushwhackers. Bushwhackers were kind of like a comedy tag team. I've never seen any sheep herd matches, but from what I hear, they were compared to maybe like the AOP or Viking Raiders. They could kick your ass.
So they were kicking ass before anybody else was.
Yes. So which means that by the time they got to WWE, they were already in mid 40s.
That's quite a bit up there, but
Yeah.
they were still badass, though.
Especially for the early 90s too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rest in peace to Bushwhacker Butch. Now to a lot of contract news. We missed last week. Jay White appeared in AEW. He was signed to AEW. He appeared in the opening match of Dynamite was going to be Ricky Starks against Juice Robinson. But before that could even start, Jay White came out and along with Juice, and they started attacking Ricky. And then he got the All Elite graphic later on. Now they're calling themselves Bullet Club Gold.
I love gold. Sorry. That's the joke everybody's been making ever since they announced it.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see if they're going to add in anyone else, because right now majority of Bullet Club is of course in Japan and in WWE. I mean, well, there's several members right there in AEW. You got the Young Bucks, you got Kenny, you got Hangman, you got Adam Cole. So yeah, there's a lot they could do with that.
Okay, so I know of someone that is... Oh, what show is it tonight? Someone at Capital Collision. And Clark Connors has joined Bullet Club. So at least that's one more member in Bullet Club. It's not Bullet Club Gold, but...
New Japan Strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's another member in Bullet Club. So
right.
It keeps on growing.
And right now the New Japan faction of Bullet Club is led by David Finlay. Other contract news: Brian Cage has re-signed with AEW. which he is now involved in a storyline with Swerve, which they've combined the Mogul affiliates with the embassy, and are now the Mogul embassy. Yeah, Mogul embassy.
The Mogul Embassy affiliates, whatever the fuck I'm calling them. That's a lot of people.
With because considering that right now Parker, Boudreaux, and the other guy are out injured.
Yeah.
But you also got Brian Cage and Prince Nana and Gates of Agony. 18-year-old Billy Starks has signed with AEW, and I think she's either still in high school or she just graduated high school, but she has signed with AEW. And I know later on this year, Nick Wayne will turn 18, so as soon as he turns 18, he'll sign with AEW as well.
Technically, yes.
Yes.
Because we all know that situation.
Yeah. Last night on the Rampage, FTR announced that they've signed a new 4-year deal. And they apparently they said that once this next 4 years is done, they're done with wrestling.
What they said.
That's what they said, but 4 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Might change their minds.
That was the first thing I thought whenever I heard that they signed for 4 years and that once this contract was over that was it. They're still in good age. They have more extreme matches and it probably takes its toll on them, but 4 years is not as long as they seem. So I don't know how they're gonna feel in 4 years from now. Unless they get completely battered in every single one of the matches they have. Then maybe I understand.
4 years old now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how they feel in 4 years' time. They're always able to re-sign again if they want.
Yeah. Over in WWE, there's not much going on as far as like signing your contract because apparently right now WWE is in some sort of hiring freeze. They haven't signed any new talent this year. I know Chelsea Green debuted at the Rumble, but she was signed back in October. Eric Young signed with WWE back in November, but they still haven't even used him yet. And right now, Drew McIntyre his status is up in the air right now because he still has a few months left on his contract till the end of the year, but a lot of people are saying that he's not happy with the way his career is going right now, and just this week he went dark on Twitter. His as far as like he changed his profile picture to just a black space, and he took WWE out of his name on Twitter. Yeah, as far as his handle.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's up with that.
Yeah, it's like I told you earlier, man. I'm 95% sure he's just working it somehow. It's going to be an angle for WWE. But there's that 5% chance for me that says Wembley.
We'll get to
Kind
that.
of like Randy did last time his contract was up.
Yeah, and but see what Randy did. Randy actually talked to AEW because he was playing WWE to get more money. So Randy did tease because at the time Randy and the Revival were teaming up. So
Yeah.
so Randy went over with FTR to try and negotiate with at the same time they were. And so Randy ended up staying with WWE because they offered him more money because he went to go talk to AEW.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a weird spot we find ourselves in, but I still think it's a work.
Yeah,
I just don't know what kind of character he could get because he's never really been a heel, I would say. So I don't know,
no,
man. I don't know what kind of shit.
I I don't think no he hasn't been in this run. He hasn't been the heel. He was back when he was with the company the first time.
Yeah.
I think maybe when he was in the 3MB, I think they started out as heels.
Yeah.
So he wasn't a heel when him and uh, Baron Corbin and Braun Strowman were fighting the Shield
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, you're right. You're right about that.
right before Dean left.
Yeah, you're right. He was in that little group.
For a little bit.
The well, I was going to say Dirty Dogs, but that's Ziggler and Rude.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've had a heel.
Yeah, that was like 2018, I think, something like
Yeah.
that.
It's been a while since we've had a heel Drew McIntyre. I'm not saying that's what they're gonna do here, but it'd be interesting to see what kind of character changes he gets.
That was back when they were blaming Raw and Baron Corbin.
Still kind of do, but that's another story.
Yeah,
That was back when he was general manager, though.
yeah, Constable.
Ah, the constable.
Yeah. Right now, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Right now, they're negotiating or trying to negotiate new contracts with AEW, seeing if they can reach a deal. If not, they're probably will be on their way to WWE by probably the end of the year. Because a lot of the big contracts are coming up. Obviously MJF and like the Young Bucks and Kenny. So
Yeah.
I read a headline this week that said that both WWE and AEW are going to have interesting summers.
Yes, I would say I don't know. It all depends on what the Young Bucks and Kenny decide to do. I would say it would be in AEW's best interest to re-sign them,
Yeah,
but I don't know. It would be pretty juicy to see them in WWE.
yeah, it would.
But how long is that initial holy shit gonna last? Because would WWE even know how to treat that sort of a situation? We all saw what they just did with Cody.
Yes.
So I just you gotta give me a reason to care right now. Because I was one Vince show away from not watching WWE anymore. And you just gotta gain that trust again because they don't really have it right now.
Yeah. AEW, they announced last week that they're going to have their first UK show this summer, which is going to be, they're going to have a pay-per-view. They're bringing back All In, which is going to be August 27th at Wembley Stadium in London. It's going to be a big deal for them. The registration rate is going on right now for tickets that go on sale on May 5th.
Yeah, so Wembley, roughly around 90,000 seats.
Yes.
But with the space that WWE takes for the ring and for their ramp and for the whole setup, it's going to put them roughly at 80,000 seats.
You mean AEW?
AEW. My mind sometimes just wrestling. But yes.
I mean WWE. They are getting money in the bank in the UK.
Yeah. But for AEW and Wembley and their setup, it's gonna roughly leave it with 80,000 seats.
And it's going to be interesting because we've never seen. I mean, we've never seen a AEW stadium show, let alone one in the UK.
Right.
Yeah.
So we don't know what they can do.
Yeah,
I have my theory on this.
I think they're going to sell out because I know everybody has been chopping at the bit over there to get an AEW show, and as far as they do really good in the ratings over there, even though they show them late night. But you know, you got to compare with how many people are in the UK compared to how many are in the US.
Yeah.
So it balances out.
And not only that, neighboring countries
Yes.
that want to that people are going to want to fly into the UK.
Dude, it's the UK. They don't have to fly. They can drive 2 hours
Right,
from
or
Germany
train.
and be there.
Or take a train.
Or the channel or whatever.
All
Yeah,
depends.
because like I think
It's not like here where it's 6 hours to get across the country. It's an hour and a half to fly, get across the country.
in 6 hours you can get through like 3 or 4 countries in Europe.
Right. Makes you 8 to get across Texas alone.
Yeah. It's
That's what I was basing it on, all right? I don't live in the UK.
I've heard this before. It takes you as long as it takes to get from Dallas to Laredo as it does to get from Dallas to Chicago.
Yeah.
Damn.
Chicago is closer to Dallas than El Paso is.
Yeah, El Paso, Dallas, El Paso. That's fine.
That's crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many people that are going to be interested in going into the UK for it that, yeah, I do believe it's going to sell out.
Yes.
And that's going to shock the WWE fans that don't watch anything but WWE, because ever since AEW announced that this is the show they're doing over there and that they were going to do Wembley, some of the WWE fans came out and said it's impossible for AEW to sell out. And I'm like, fucking watch, dude. Watch.
You know how many British stars they have in AEW?
Exactly.
Yes.
Look at Pac. Look at Soraya. Shit.
Soraya, they got Kip Sabian, Trent Seven. Yeah, who else?
They got plenty of people that they can
And if
take.
they're going to use New Japan
Nigel
people,
McGuinness.
Yeah. They
they're
just
gonna
got
use New
him.
Japan people too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's all in. So just like the original All In, you got all these different companies that are going to help you out. They got ROH. They'll have AAA. I'm sure they'll get Vikingo in the match.
Hell yeah, they're going to get
Ospreay.
Vikingo in the match.
Yeah, Will Ospreay. I mean, there's lots of possibilities for dream matches here.
Hell yes.
I mean, you can get your Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. You could have Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay too.
You can have a lot of shit. You can have, if what we're hearing is correct, which we'll touch more on it later on, you could get, you can possibly get CMFTR versus the Elite.
Yeah.
Because y'all obviously all know by now. But
And
we'll
we'll
touch
also
on that
talk
too.
about this. We'll also talk about this later. You could even get the Hardy Boys versus Edge and Christian.
Yup. You can get that shit too. That's exactly what I'm saying. There's still some people out there that haven't given AEW the chance it deserves. And I am sure if they were to just watch it, they would understand. I know. Okay, I know. I'm gonna bring this guy up. I know you've seen him probably either on Facebook or TikTok. He's in many different places. JD from New York.
I don't know.
Andrew, I'm pretty sure you have seen him. He has some very hot takes at times. Mostly
I
watches.
probably have. I just don't remember.
Yeah, mostly watches WWE. This week was the first week he watched AEW.
Hmm.
And his exact words, this is what I have been missing out on.
That's kind of like the guy from Straight Shoot. He watched AEW for the first time this week.
Yeah,
He's like, dude, if they do this every week, what the hell have I been missing?
exactly. And that is what I'm trying to get people to understand. Don't talk about something that you don't know. Yes, it's professional wrestling. Yes, you watch WWE. But if you don't watch AEW at least once and you still shit on it, you have no argument in my eyes. If you watch it and it's not for you, at least I'll say you gave it a chance and you watched it. But you don't and you still shit on it, that's where I have the problem. So, yeah. Just give it a chance is all I'm saying.
So you last week you were saying you wanted us to come up with dream matches. So what would be a dream match for you?
Okay. My dream match for Wembley, All In. I would still have to go with Will Ospreay versus Hijo El Vikingo. I just want them to showcase Vikingo, but he's gonna need someone that can keep up with him, because so far we've seen like hit him with Kenny Omega, and that was pretty good. But we all know if Vikingo would really have tried to do all his shit like he does in Mexico, Kenny wouldn't be able to keep up. Like, Vikingo has a match with Dralistico this week. That's going to be a better showcase.
Yeah.
But that's the format they need to push him on now. Unlock the door and let him do everything he can do. And you get someone like Will Ospreay with a match at Wembley against Vikingo. Yeah, that's going to fucking kill. It might even take match of the night, I would say.
I was hearing this week that Conan and Rey Mysterio actually talk to Vikingo and tells him to slow down.
Yeah, I heard that. Okay, so whenever I first heard that, it didn't say who actually talked to Vikingo and told him to slow down. It just said somebody had spoken to him and told him that he needs to, for longevity purposes, that he needed to slow down on his moveset.
Yeah, it was Conan and Rey Mysterio, because Rey Mysterio told him that in his career he's had 14 knee surgeries.
Yeah.
And even at his young age, Vikingo's already had one knee surgery.
Yeah. So when I heard it at first and they still hadn't said who said it, I was like, who are the guys trying to tell Vikingo to slow down on his shit? And then they said, yeah, it was Rey Mysterio and Conan. And I'm like, okay, yeah, all right. I gotta let that slide because they're legit.
Yeah.
So, and they know what they're talking about. So I was mad, but then I couldn't be mad.
So here's my dream match. Okay, if it's a 4-way match, You take IWGP champion Sonata, who by the way beat Okada last. So you got Sonata versus ROH champion Claudio versus AEW champion MJF versus AAA Mega champion Vikingo for a one fall winner take all.
Okay. Here's what I want to know.
Are the new belt collector.
Here's what I want to know. Because that match being a 4-way match, it's gonna go at least 35 minutes.
Yeah, especially if you got a New Japan guy in there.
Exactly. So here's my question. Where the fuck is MJF going to hide for 40 minutes? Because you know damn well he's not going to be in that ring the whole time.
Yeah.
He's going to find a way to weasel around and slow the pace down and hide when he can and let the guys do their thing. And then he'll opportunistically sneak in.
So one company's going to give up their belt.
Well, three of them are.
What three companies going to get off their belt for one other company? I don't see it happening.
I mean, FTR were tag champions of ROH, New Japan,
Yeah, but that's not the main title, though.
and AAA. Oh, you're talking about who's going to give up their ring champion?
Right. Which three shows are going to give up the main champion to another show?
Because it's a winner take all, man.
Yeah, well, yeah. But then the winner would have to agree to going to both Japan and Mexico.
Okay.
So it's either going to be, it would either be Claudio, Sonata, or Vikingo.
MJF ain't going nowhere.
No, MJF, no.
I would want to see MJF win, just for him to like half-ass
Oh, Lord, no.
brush up on some Spanish and go to Mexico and cut a "Todas ustedes no son buenos" type of program over there. I don't know.
I actually want to go see him go to New Japan and get his ass kicked by Okada.
Fair enough. But yeah, it's not gonna be MJF.
No.
He would lose his title on that scenario. So, Drew, what would be your dream match? Because I know whenever we were throwing around the idea of focusing on trying to think of some dream matches, you thought of the same one I did.
Well, I'm going to go all British since we're in England. I'm going to go Will Ospreay versus... Oh, shit, I forgot who the other one was. Oh, the Bastard Pac.
Yeah, that would be along the same lines as mine, as to where they would just go out there and steal the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And showcase the British talent.
Yeah. They have an opportunity to do a really great show here. And it for them going to the first time to the UK, you know they're gonna do it. And the problem we find ourselves in, and it's a good problem to have, is
I just thought of another one.
Okay.
Jamie Hayter versus Saraya for the title. AEW Women's title. They're both English.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Which probably going to happen anyway.
And you know they probably put it. Well, I don't know who they would put it on because Jamie
Saraya.
Hayter's a real fan favorite right now. But you know, after
She's had it a while.
after watching, you know, Fighting with My Family and what Saraya had to go through,
Right.
you would love to see her win it in her home country.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I was Tony Khan, first of all, hell yeah, give me all the money. But if I was Tony Khan,
That'd be the first match I book.
and I booked this match for All In, I would have it set up to where you have a finish for both, right? You have a finish for Saraya to win, and you have a finish for Jamie Hayter to win,
And you go by the crowd
and you
reaction.
go by the crowd.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the loudest pop is gonna win. If they boo Saraya, you put it on Hayter. You get it on Hayter. You know?
Well, but then again, sometimes during the middle of a match, the crowd can change.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We saw that in New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be a weird situation to put themselves in, but it would keep it unpredictable.
And
So,
whoever the crowd's going for, you go opposite. Oh.
I don't know.
Well, and while booking all these matches, you got to also remember that they're still going to have All Out the following weekend in Chicago.
Yeah, and that's where I was headed to with saying it's a great problem we find ourselves in, is we got All In and then All Out. So I hope they sell it like as a package deal.
Yeah, because I know Warner Brothers Discovery just announced starting in May they're going to have a new service, streaming service called Max. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's taking the place of HBO Max. I don't know if it's going to be a separate deal.
Well, they've gotten HBO Max is no more. It's just Max.
It's just oh, they've already changed it. Okay.
So it's HBO Max and Discovery Plus merged.
Ah,
That's what that is.
okay. Well, I gotta look some stuff up later then, because
Yeah.
I pay for Discovery Plus and my sister plays for HBO Max. So who's
Yeah.
not paying anymore?
Yeah. That's for y'all to settle later.
Yeah,
Y'all have some discussing to do.
I wasn't even aware of that because I haven't been on streaming apps in a while. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm wondering, if they're gonna be AEW's gonna be able to cut a deal and be on the streaming service, or what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because if you're buying traditional pay-per-view with AEW, that's back-to-back weeks of $50.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, like you're saying, hopefully it's like a package deal. Like maybe you get maybe two for like $75, something like that.
Maybe they give you both for 50. Who cares? Who knows?
Yeah.
yeah, but I just hope we get a good deal on it. But even if we don't, even if they're done separately, still gonna get both.
Yeah, I mean, I'll I got that VPN, so I can get them on Fight cheaper.
Hell yeah, still gonna get both. So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where you were going next, but can I do my segue?
Yeah.
Speaking of mergers,
Oh. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
okay,
Because now we got to go over and talk WWE pay-per-views, because the premium live event that was going to take place in Saudi the Memorial Day weekend, the day before Double or Nothing, was going to be King and Queen of the Ring. Well, that has now changed. It's now going to be Night of Champions. From what I'm hearing, the reason is because Saudi Arabia doesn't want to crown a queen in their country. Now, WWE is using the excuse of, hey, we just decided that maybe they would like to see see Night of Champions, pay-per-view better than being Queen of the Ring. I mean, we know what's really going on, but I mean, it's 2023. Come on, why are you still treating women like you still living in the dark ages?
look, I'm gonna put my thoughts in very simple words here, and they are actually words that you used when I told you this. Get the fuck over yourself, Saudi Arabia. Okay? I know. I get it. This is your culture, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's 2023. You know exactly what company is coming over there. So maybe for once, you just forget about your stupid bullshit and just let these women do what they do. If they signed up for King and Queen of the Ring over there, guess what it should be? King and Queen of the Ring. You have the women main event. And you know what? Just for old time fucking sakes, just to rub it in Saudi Arabia's face, have them go out there in fucking bikinis. Alright? That's what I fucking want.
Let's go have a bra and panty match.
Yes. Yeah. If okay. I know. It's
Take Jerry Lawler so
2023.
he can
It's-
yell.
Puppies!
It's 2023, and we haven't seen that shit in a very long time because women's evolution and all that shit. Cool. I get it. But if I was the women and we were like, you know what? We're proud of who we are and what we do and how hard we work to be in this shape just to be censored. Fuck that. It no longer should be done as a hey look sex appeal. It should be done as a hey look, we work hard to be this toned. We work hard to be in these positions that we're in. That's why we're doing it this way.
Yes, and plus in this country we have a thing called women's equality.
Yes. Yeah. You know women have more than this, right? It's more than just this. So fuck off.
And women have hair too.
Yeah.
I got a different question though.
Yeah.
Are all the championships going to be defended? Or
You would think.
Are the tag team championships just not going to be defended?
And that's another issue right there. Because Sami Zayn is not allowed in Saudi Arabia, and
And
Kevin Owens.
won't go without it.
Yeah, Kevin's always been a supporter of that. Yeah, so what are you going to do there? And then is this going to be when they're going to decide to finally put the belt on Cody?
Okay. This is what
I don't
I'm
think
hearing.
Cody will get the belt till SummerSlam.
This is what I'm hearing. Is between now and that Saudi show, KO and Sami are gonna lose the titles.
Okay, so you think is it just going to be like just have a transitional champions? And then
They're
they'll
gonna
get-
lose it to the Usos.
But then they'll get it back
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm good with that. Just for the sake of,
Well,
so they won't have to appear on this show.
they also announced last night the draft's in 2 weeks. So is this when they're going to separate those titles?
No, because the champions are still one team
Yeah. I think the title stays the same.
for now.
Yeah.
I think they separate them at the draft.
Why does Saudi have to fuck everything up, man?
I mean, again, we're going to talk about this in a minute, but I'm glad that they weren't the ones who bought WWE.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
glad
God.
they weren't.
Yes.
Because who knows what kind of bullshit they would decide to throw in there.
Thank Allah.
I don't even want to think about it. Fuck that
That was
shit.
funny, Johnny. That was funny.
I heard him. I heard what he said. I just
I'm sorry. I have several Muslim friends. I'm not making fun. We're frustrated.
whatever. I'm not gonna get into that. That's for another time, and this is not the time. Oh, well, that got a bit awkward, didn't it?
It was funny. It was alright. It was funny.
funny. It was funny. It was funny. Sure. A la. A la chingada is what it should be.
Oh,
Bullshit. See what happens? God damn it. Oh, okay. A la damn it.
okay.
All right, cool. Let's move on.
Okay, you know what? Let's talk about CM Punk.
All right.
Because there is now reports that CM Punk is definitely coming back to AEW. And maybe sooner than we think. AEW, they're planning on having a show in Chicago on June 21st, which is going to be the go home show for Forbidden Door. A lot of people are speculating that that's going to be the show he's going to return at. He's tried several times to sit down and have a talk with Kenny and the Young Bucks. I've heard that they were rejecting, a meeting to settle this, but I think Tony Khan is gonna have to step in there and say, what, y'all just need to get along, for the sake of the company, and because CM Punk does want to come back.
Yeah, I've heard that he's already had a meeting with Jericho, and in that same meeting, like Tony and some backstage people were there, and I heard that went all right. And I've heard that he's also said that he wants to work things out with the Elite, and not only settle it behind the scenes, but settle it in front of a crowd as well. But then I also heard that the Elite don't want anything to do with him, which leads to the announcement. Well, it hasn't been fully announced yet, but the rumor is that that AEW is gonna have a Saturday night show.
Yeah.
And that show is going to be mainly focused, as far as the main event scene, on CM Punk.
Yeah, because I've also heard that they may be having some sort of a, not really a brand split, but only put certain wrestlers on the show. Plus, I think it's also going to be used to tape some ROH stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know ever since Super Card of Honor, they've been taping on ROH, Dynamite, and Rampage on the same night.
Yeah. So, again, nothing is set in stone yet. Things could still go in many different directions, but if they are going to bring CM Punk in, from the looks of it, he's going to have his own separate show from everybody else, just to keep him away from the Elite.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
But how's that going to work?
I don't know.
Especially if they want to do that match with FTR against the Elite.
You just don't do it. We never get it. But it puts AEW in a weird spot, because then that's just like WWE having separate rosters on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
They're just never going to cross paths, even though they're on the same company. Eventually, they have to.
Unless CM Punk and the Elite are the only ones who follow this rule. Everyone else in the company can cross paths.
Yeah.
That sounds more likely.
Yeah.
it just sounds too weird to me. I think if they're not gonna squash it completely, I still don't think that, as much as I would love for them to bring in CM Punk again, I wouldn't do it. Because
I don't know if it's the right idea. If you can't work with everybody on the roster,
yeah,
you shouldn't be brought in.
that's what I'm saying. Because
But if you do, he has to be beat down by Blackpool Combat Club at least 4 or 5 times.
I mean, he's got to learn his lesson somehow, right?
Right.
Yeah, I see it being a short-term solution for them to have another show. But the backstage drama is still gonna be there. I don't know. I just don't think it can work. I would love it to work, but I don't think it's gonna work. But yeah, that is the rumor, is that they're gonna bring in CM Punk sooner than later, definitely before Wembley, and it's probably even gonna have a match there. So I'll wait and see how it plays out, but we'll probably get another good 6 months, and then after a pay-per-view somewhere, he'll talk shit on someone else, and here we go again. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works.
Okay, now we'll get to our discussion. The Monday after, the day after WrestleMania, it was announced that WWE had been sold to Endeavor, which is the same company that runs UFC. And Endeavor is actually they're a talent agency. A while back, they bought William Morris agency and merged with that. So this is, even though it was a sale, it's also going to be a merger. WWE has merged their assets with UFC to combine to create a $21.9 billion company, or $21 billion. I believe WWE came in at $9 billion, like Vince wanted, but the UFC was like $11.3 billion or something like that. But no money was exchanged. This was all through stocks. Endeavor bought 51% of WWE stock, which means they're going to be the controlling interest. So as it stands now, Vince McMahon is going to be chairman of the board for both WWE and UFC. But since Endeavor has the controlling interest, Endeavor is going to have 6 board members, and WWE is going to have 5 board members. Ari Emanuel is going to be the CEO over the entire company. Dana White's going to remain president of UFC. Nick Khan's going to remain president of WWE. Triple H is still going to keep his position as chief content officer. So this sale, it's not final. It's not finalized yet. It was just announced. It could take 4 to 6 months to complete the deal. Once it's completed, that's when Endeavor's going to take over as majority on the board, which means they'll have the option to get rid of Vince McMahon.
I was about to say, that's the day Vince is out the door, by force.
Unfortunately, that's also going to be the day when a lot of people are going to be out the door because they're gonna merge all their TV, their production, their marketing or financial offices. So yeah, and I mean it's typical when that happens in a merger. You know you why have two production teams? Just make it into one. But yeah, Vince it could very well be voted out if they decide to once the sale is finalized. They want to vote on new board members. They could say, "Sorry, Vince, but you're out."
Yeah. And that's something I hope does happen because I think there's more people capable than Vince of doing this job now.
Yeah,
It's been proven that it can run without him. So I don't know, man. I'm hoping the best will come out of this scenario.
yeah,
I
and
hope that UFC and WWE are able to stay separate because we all know like there's crossover potential there. But
right.
I still think they should stay separate.
Yeah, I think so. I think they should, and I'm sure they probably will, uh, for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because for those of you that know, obviously pro wrestling WWE is done in a wrestling ring. And in UFC, it's a cage, even though they call it the octagon.
yeah,
It's a cage. It's a cage that they fight in. So I just don't want to see something happening like you've heard of WrestleMania. Now how about WrestleCagia? And then what like one time a year, it's like if UFC guys want to go do WWE shit, they can. If WWE guys want to go do UFC shit, they can. Like I don't want to see that happen. But hey, we don't know.
yeah. I mean, you could have that crossover because I know I've seen Brock on a UFC show with the WWE or with the Universal title.
Yeah. And I've seen Brock in the octagon many times.
Yeah,
So it's possible that it could happen.
and there's a lot that's still up in the air. Like WWE's TV rights, their deals are they're gonna be renegotiating this year with Fox and with NBC Universal. We'll see if they even want to keep them, keep them on their networks.
Yeah.
Another thing that Nick Khan was looking into the possibility of going back to the old style of paying $50 a month per month per pay-per-view.
God, I hope not.
No.
I hope not either.
No.
That's not going to happen anytime soon, but it's something that they're going to
How
be.
long is their deal with Peacock?
This year they got to renegotiate this year.
Oh,
Yeah, it's up at the end of the year.
damn it.
Yes.
If,
So-
if that happens, it's back to just hopping on a watch along or something. Because
Yeah,
I ain't going to
'cause-
pay for it.
Or
So
maybe Peacock will come up with another $5 billion.
maybe because okay, so from I'd say maybe the late '90s till the mid 2000s, I actually bought WWE pay-per-view once a month because back then my sisters were into it, and I had cousins that they were kids back then, but they used to hang out with me all the time. So I would order the pay-per-view so we could watch every month. Back then it was a little cheaper. Back then it was running like maybe $40 a month. But that's a lot of things have changed since then. I got a lot more bills to pay. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't be buying them once a month. I would say maybe I'll buy the Rumble.
1 or 2 a year.
Yeah, I'll buy the Rumble. I'll buy WrestleMania. Maybe Survivor Series, but that's probably about it.
Maybe SummerSlam.
Maybe the big four.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Big 4.
Big Four.
Yeah.
The Big Four I would understand, but as far as going monthly on it, nah, man, I'm not doing $50
Yeah.
a month here.
I would have to use that VPN again and just go back to the WWE Network.
Yeah, yeah, and I wasn't as lucky as you were as like a kid and as an adult watching and paying $50, and because you had family members coming around and watching with you, I'm the only one that watched.
Yeah.
So
I'd miss the pay-per-view and catch up on Monday Night Raw.
yeah.
Yes.
Or you would do what I would do. You know, there's always the scrambled channel where
You can't do that anymore.
No, but back then.
Back then, yes.
That's what I would do.
I was gonna say now it's,
Watch it all scramble and try to figure
Yeah.
out
now
what's
that
going on.
there's no more analog signal, so they got rid of the scramble channel.
Yeah. And whenever I would do that, you would run that risk where if you don't get it on the right channel, you'd be playing the game, is it wrestling or is it porn? Which one is it? Because there was both.
And back in the 90s, you could have got them confused really easily.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of the shit that was blurring the lines almost when it comes to both wrestling and porn. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would probably just do the Big Four as well. And yeah, just fuck the rest because I wouldn't pay that much. But that is one of the ideas they're throwing out there.
Yeah, because I know like UFC, they do that with their pay-per-views. Because like even though like they'll say, oh, you can watch it on the Fox Sports app, but you gotta pay the separate fee,
Yeah.
or watch on ESPN Plus, but pay the separate.
Yeah. So not only do you have to have a subscription,
Yeah, on
you
top of
still
the
have to pay.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a bit much. So, it's not for me.
also, once this merger happens, or once it's finalized and all these backstage people start losing their jobs, I'm hoping that the talent will be safe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another question. Is how safe is the talent gonna be? That's another question that we're just gonna have to wait and see on, because not only are a lot of cuts probably gonna happen from The Office, there could be superstars being cut, and some of them might even walk out. We don't know.
Well, I know a lot of wrestlers have already said that if Vince is back in charge and creative, which the Raw after Mania that's what it was.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that they would leave the company.
And he was supposed to be at the SmackDown as
After Mania.
well, but if what we hear is correct, what people were reporting as far as why Vince wasn't there is because he was watching the Eagles.
The
He
band,
was-
not the football team.
No, not the football team. The band. He was over there chilling in the Hotel California.
He was taking it easy.
Yeah. That was a weird one, man. To hear that Vince wasn't at SmackDown because he went to go see the Eagles.
Well, apparently it's not his first Eagles concert. He had gone to one a few months back.
Yeah.
Hey,
What-
maybe he could just follow the Eagles around, go to all their concerts.
That's
and
That's
do
what I
wrestling live.
said.
That's a phrase.
That's what I said. That's how you keep them
Look, enjoy
away,
your
man.
retirement. Go to the Eagles concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Be their groupie.
Yeah. If I was Ari, if I was WWE, I would be like, look, man, we'll pay for all your tickets. We'll pay
Go.
for a hotel. Whatever you do is your business.
Like, go hang out with Don Henley.
Yeah. Like just stay
Joe
away,
Walsh.
man.
Yeah.
Or there could be like what happened this week and there'd just be travel
Travel
issues. I still don't fully know what happened with that situation.
And like I said, I don't believe the travel issues because I believe Vince has a private jet. He could have went if he needed to.
Unless if the private jet is like a company private jet to where he doesn't really own it. It just goes with the company. You don't have that anymore. And your name isn't gonna get you as much as you think. So Triple H uses the private jet, not you.
Yeah.
That was a weird one though. That was some weird shit.
Yeah. So and now we'll just segue into that. So this Raw after Mania, he was back to his old tricks. He was tearing up the scripts and canceling matches. Like the first hour was commercial free, and it only had like one match in it, which is just a couple minutes because it was an Omos match against Elias, which wasn't supposed to be on there. From what I hear, they had to find gear for Omos because he didn't have it because he was over in catering. So yeah, that first hour you had a Cody and Roman promo, and then you started the second hour with Theory against Rey Mysterio, but then there were also supposed to be two women's triple threat matches to see to have a little tournament to see who was going to face Bianca for the title at Backlash. But those were canceled in lieu of a number one contender women's tag title match. We'll get to that coming up. But which they did make good on one of those triple threats this past Monday, but it wasn't for a contendership anymore. But yeah, so yeah, the Monday, the Raw after Mania felt like an old Vince Raw. Nothing big to talk about.
Yeah. And I saw a lot of people very frustrated with how much it felt like Vince was in control.
And you had Cody at Brock Lesnar attack Cody, but that was actually not a Vince idea. That was already set in place before that.
And they canceled a Seth Rollins holds.
Yeah, and I mean, according to Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful, that was actually planned that way, but I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, why would you let him come out and cancel it in the ring
Yeah.
during a commercial break? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I don't think it was planned that way. I just think there was a last minute Vince rewrite and they just didn't get to Seth in time. So they had to do it during a commercial break.
And then we were supposed to get a tag title match between Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and the Street Profits. Instead, they came out to cut a promo, and then the Street Profits interrupted, and that's how they got the match going. But it wasn't even for the titles.
Yeah. That Monday after Raw was just weird.
LWO were supposed to be involved with the segment with Ray and Judgment Day and Bad Bunny, but they weren't out there either.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That was just too weird of a show for me.
Although that was Freddie's favorite scene.
fuck off.
You didn't like seeing Bad Bunny go to the table.
I said it was your favorite. And Buddy went through the table.
Fine, he went through the table, but I still wouldn't want to see him on TV, okay? No, the fact that he went through a table wasn't enough. Can we get him like a Kurt Angle broken freaking neck or something? Can we just get him away? First of all, okay.
Wait, he was at Coachella last night.
Then that's where I was gonna go to. Okay? Alright, I'm gonna slowly derail the train a little bit here. So, two things,
Oh,
a couple of things happened at Coachella last night. First of all, Blink-182 fucking killed it. So, happy to see them back together in their original lineup. So, hell yeah, I fucking love that. I feel bad for Post Malone because there was technical issues and his set didn't go as planned. But then pretty much the same technical issues that he had, Bad Bunny had. So, haha, fuck you, bitch. That's what you get for coming to WWE and thinking you can still do some shit and also be a Grammy Award winning artist. Fucking air quotes on artist, okay? That's what you get for not focusing on your so-called music career instead of coming over here and fucking with my wrestling. That's what you get. You had technical issues and you fucking deserve it. Sorry. Not sorry. I just don't like him. You want to sing? You want to be a fucking dumbass mumble rapper? Cool, go ahead. Don't come over here and pretend you're a wrestler. You're not. Fuck your Canadian destroyer. Shit. I need to check my pulse. I'm done.
Okay. Well, unless y'all had anything else to add about the sale or the merger.
Yeah, I just wanted to go smooth. That's all I wanted to do. It's still too early to tell. Like it hasn't even been signed upon.
Yeah.
It's just been agreed upon. So
I think we'll start finding things out by the fall.
yeah.
as long as Triple H stays in charge of creative, I'm good.
Yeah.
Say late September, early October is when we'll start
Yeah.
getting a lot of clarification. So
Yeah.
give me a good birthday gift and clear this shit up for me because I'm ready to hear what the details are.
All right. Now we can move on.
Okay.
That was
Yes.
longer than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, that was a lot longer than I thought it was going to go. But we knew that going in.
Yeah.
So now that we've gone through probably the longest news we've ever done, even though he said it probably wasn't going to be long because we weren't as prepared with the news today, it still went an hour 9. But that's fine. We knew that's what it was going to be.
Yeah.
So to add a little bit of a different mix into our moments, each one of us has a bag of Doritos, maybe hot, maybe not.
Maybe.
Andrew, don't trick us. You already showed us that you have a separate bag.
Dorito roulette.
We got the Doritos roulette. So
I'm making
whoever's
raw
moment
roulette.
whosever moment it is, they are safe from taking a Dorito that time, since they have to speak about their moment. But that would mean the other two have to eat one and see how it goes. So let me go ahead and open up my bag here so I'm ready. Get that Foley action in there. And to get it going, Johnny, what's your moment for WWE this week?
Okay, I actually don't really have a moment. I would have a moment, but I have a feeling one of you is going to take it. If not, I can come back to it. But yeah, right now with the draft coming up, WWE's just in a holding pattern. You know, I'll go ahead and talk about it. So Monday on Raw, we had the women's tag title match with Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan against Becky Lynch and Lita. Uh, it, it was a good match, but Trish actually took the pin. She got rolled up, and she couldn't get out of it. And so after the match, Becky Lynch was like, you know, it's okay, you know. And, Trish was apologizing, and Becky Lynch walked off. And as she was walking off, Trish attacked her from behind and gave her a chick kick. So we finally got our Trish Stratus heel turn. From what I heard, she didn't get much reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
So the heel
Everybody knew it was going to happen for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
But also, I think because a lot of casual WWE fans maybe don't know a lot about Trish Stratus. I don't know, but Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are your new women's tag champions.
I'm happy for Raquel, and I'm happy for Liv Morgan because they deserve it, right?
Yeah.
They've been working hard, and even though people criticize Raquel a lot for saying that her character is like only I got muscles and I am strong, I'm like, she's dating Braun Strowman, okay? Like, how do you expect them to portray her?
Yeah.
You gotta let her work on herself and get better, whether it be through promos, through her move sets, and having an actual character. This is fine for now for her, but yes, eventually she's gonna have to get better on the mic. She's gonna have to get on the mic at all,
Yeah.
and yeah, she's gonna have to work on something other than having a powerful move set.
Yeah. And their celebration on SmackDown when they were talking, Raquel told Liv, I want to thank you for being a weapon. My weapon I can use. And Liv goes, you can throw me at anybody else anytime you want to.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny. Well, yeah, man. I'm like, we all knew the Trish Stratus turn was coming. Whenever Lita got attacked in the back, I already knew where this was going.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
But, you know, for me on this one, it wasn't when it was going to happen. It's that what's going to happen after that. So here's where the real story starts. Here's where you got to make it real good. But,
And
yeah.
she explains why.
Yeah. That's going to be an interesting thing. So, hell yeah. That was good for what it was and what it's going to lead to. So, hell yeah. I'll tell you what, that's a good ass spicy Dorito, bro. I fucking loved it.
Mine didn't taste spicy. It had a little
But
kick to it,
that means you didn't get the
That means
spicy
you got a
one.
normal one.
but it had a little kick to it. Maybe had a little bit from another touching chip.
Probably because I'm sure it's, you know, the powder is all in the bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I can't wait for you to get a real spicy one. That's gonna be a shot right there.
That's
Okay.
good. Whatever.
Well, now that we've got Johnny's moment in there, I'm gonna go over to Drew and get his moment for WWE this week.
Well, I'm going to talk about a returning Jedi, or at least that's what his entrance gear looked like. Shinsuke came back and had a match against Madcap Moss, and his entrance robes looked like a Jedi robe if you looked at it. At least I thought it did. Pretty
No,
good.
it did.
It looked like Anakin's robe from like the third one.
Yeah.
Just did have a hood on it, which his did too. But yeah, Shinsuke's back, and he beat Madcap pretty quickly. I didn't think he would be that quick. I thought Madcap would put up a little bit more of a fight, but no, he didn't really. It was only like a 3-4 minute match.
Yeah, that's the one thing that a lot of people are having an issue with, is that there was a lot of pre-match shit going on between Madcap and Emma. Like her psyching him up, saying, "You're the best. You're gonna go out there and win. You're my man," and shit like that. Like, I get it. I get what they're trying to do. But if he's gonna go out there and just lose in seconds, what was the point of all of that?
Right.
One, it made Madcap look a lot weak because he couldn't handle Shinsuke even for a little bit. And two, what the fuck are you doing with Emma? Like, you brought her back just to do this shit?
Yeah, she was better off in Impact.
Yeah, she was a badass over there in Impact.
Tenille Dashwood.
This is exactly why I don't want the Young Bucks and Kenny to come over.
I'm gonna take Taya Valkyrie for example. I mean, she at one time she was Frankie Monet in NXT.
Yeah.
She wasn't doing anything, and now look at her now in AEW.
Hell
She
yeah.
might possibly be the one that's gonna take the title off of Jade.
I'm gonna go even one step further and say she needs to be the one to take it off of Jade.
Yeah,
I don't want no ifs, ands, or buts.
yeah.
The only butt I want to see is freaking Jade Cargill's butt being kicked. That's all I want. I want to see her ass getting beat. I never thought I would say the phrase, the only ass I want to see is Jade. But this is where we are. But yeah, man, it's a shame that they bring in these people and they just act like they don't know what they can do with them, when it was right in front of you what you can do. So, but yeah, that was a good moment. I was happy to see Shinsuke back.
And I have a feeling that once the draft happens, I think he's gonna go over the Raw. Because I think he's always been on SmackDown ever since he's been in WWE.
Yeah, I don't think he was on Raw, if any.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting what they decide to do with this shakeup. As far as my moment, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Solo Sikoa getting the win over KO. We knew it was gonna be a badass match. Like, Sikoa is just always menacing. I could see him as a future world champion. Just because that's the vibe I get from him, and just that this is another person I know he hasn't needed to be on the mic because Roman does all the talking and Jimmy and Jade do a lot of talking, so there's no need for him to be on the mic. But I hope that's something he's working on, because eventually he's gonna need it. Everything else is great. His presentation, his performance, everything is great. He just needs to work on his vocals, his mic skills, if he hasn't already. But yeah, man, I love this match with Solo Sikoa. I kind of wish he wouldn't have had the interference from the Usos, but I get it. It's a bloodline thing. They got to look out for each other. But yeah, real good match from Kevin and Solo on Monday.
And he actually talked this week too.
And he talked a little bit. That's why I said he needs to focus on that maybe a little bit more. And I could see him getting a little bit frustrated just because he wants to do the spike on a lot of people and he's not being allowed to hit it or get as confrontational as he's been wanting to get. So I know some people are saying it might be Jimmy or Jay that turn on the bloodline first, but it could be either one of them. And I'm just gonna throw out there another moment that happened. Whenever Paul Heyman was in the ring and he said he's getting fed up with you two, and the Usos thought he was talking about Kevin and Sammy because that's who he was pointing to, but he was really looking at Jimmy and Jay. I saw that when it was happening, and I'm like, whoa, y'all need to pay more attention to Paul Heyman.
So, the end of the bloodline has to be coming, right?
I would say it's sooner than later, but for it to be able to happen, Roman has to be on TV.
Yeah.
And that's the problem right now. As they said after Mania, he was probably taking some time off.
Yeah.
So,
and now it will probably, if he is defending at Night of Champions, we probably won't see him until then.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, WWE put themselves in a weird spot with Roman again. And with the draft coming and him still being away, who knows what all is going to happen and what's that going to look like. So, and I'm just going to speak on something on the draft real quick because I did mention earlier that I was going to say something that was probably going to piss a lot of people off if this is how it goes down. But I'm going to mess with Johnny and Andrew for a little bit here. So here's what I think happens on one part of the draft. Because Cody is Raw. Roman technically is SmackDown, but he can go on both shows because he's the champion.
Yeah.
So here's what I think happens. I think Cody gets drafted to SmackDown. And that's when he's like, whether Roman doesn't show up on Raw, eventually he has to show up on SmackDown. Because that's what his show is based on. It's based on being at SmackDown. So whenever Cody gets drafted over to SmackDown, he thinks he's got it good. Because he's going to face Roman anytime he decides to be around, he's going to be in his face. So what Roman is going to start doing is just being on Raw. And he's just never going to show back up on SmackDown. And that's when people are going to get mad. Because everybody is like, oh, hell yeah, Cody's on SmackDown. So Roman obligatory has to show up at SmackDown whenever he does decide he wants to be on TV that week. His default show is going to be SmackDown. But that's when Roman's like, nah, I'm just going to be over on Raw. And he doesn't face Cody. Cody doesn't get his match at SummerSlam. And they're just going to squander that choice. So, y'all think Cody's getting a chance? I just ruined those plans for you. Actually, the draft is going to ruin those plans for you. So, that's just a little bit of way out there prediction for the draft. So, now that we've gone through our moments of WWE, I'm gonna go over to Johnny and get his moment for AEW.
All right. As they came back from a commercial, and I think it was Excalibur saying that the BCC were supposed to come out, but instead Ethan Page was in the ring, and he starts talking about how
Someone got a spicy chip.
That one was hot.
he started talking about how Matt Hardy betrayed him and caused him to lose and Stokely to lose, and then that brought out Matt Hardy with Isaiah Cassidy, and Matt was telling him, well, now that you lost, now that there was a clause in that contract that was said that if you lose in the match against me, then Isaiah and myself we're no longer affiliated with the firm. We'll no longer be under your control. And so the rest of the firm is out there. So then Hook comes out to be on the side with Matt Hardy and Isaiah Cassidy, and then they all get into it. But you got one more member of the actually Hook came out after the attack. So now that I think about it, so Cassidy and Hardy were being attacked 4-on-2 against the firm. That's when Hook's music hits. Hook comes out, and they get a little offense in, but they're still down one person. So the Hardy Boys music plays, and here comes Jeff making his return to AEW to even the odds. And now that's setting up I think Matt Hardy called it a firm deletion match at the Hardy compound with Stokely, Ethan Page, Big Bill, and Lee Moriarty against Hook, the Hardys, and Isaiah Cassidy.
Okay. I'm gonna let you go.
I was gonna say I know there were a lot of people that aren't sure about letting Jeff Hardy come back to the company. I mean, I think it's all right. I know he's had lots of chances in lots of different companies, but he's always been a fan favorite. He's always going to draw a crowd. So, the value is there. He just has to stay away from the alcohol and the drugs.
Yes. I am happy that Jeff is back, because that means he's in a better place mentally, he's in a better place physically, and he actually had to go to rehab this time. That was the rule. You want to come back, you got to get clean. So he did his thing. And I was happy to see him back. He looked great.
Yeah.
He hit that swanton, and it looked like a legit swanton bomb. So I was happy to see it that way. Here's what I'm going to say. Much like Matt did, he needs to adjust his style. Just so he doesn't get as banged up, because that's what kept him going back to the alcohol, going back to the pills, because that's his way of not feeling the pain of all the moves he does.
Yes.
So sometimes you just have to come to the realization of you can't do it the way you used to. And that has to be hard for someone like Jeff, because even though Matt took his fair share of risks, it was mostly Jeff that took the biggest ones. So yeah, that's all you have to do, man. You have to find a way to make it work without getting as banged up, or just it would be better to stay away. But you're here now. So I hope you found a way to do it. And if this leads down the road of him starting to slip up again, you just got to step away. This is your last chance.
Yeah, and I know we said this is your last chance before, but I think this is truly your last
Yeah,
chance.
because you did go to rehab. You did do your thing. You got clean, as far as we know. So, yeah, man, this has to be the last time. Badass chair, though, is what I will say. I love that chair. I wish they would sell it, because I would fucking buy that shit. So, hell yeah, man. That was an awesome moment to see Jeff come back. So, now that we got Johnny's moment in there, I'm going to go over to Drew and get his moment for AEW. I'm going to reach down into the bottom of the bag. Only my first one was spicy.
Same here.
Do what?
Only my first one was spicy.
Only my last one was. So. Kind of hot.
They are.
No, they're decently hot. But I wouldn't know after the first one, because after that I haven't had spicy.
I'm going to go with the AEW International Championship match that we had on Wednesday between Orange Cassidy and his bum hand against Buddy Matthews. Now, I want to say this about Orange Cassidy. This kid hasn't found a DDT he didn't like. There were so many different times he countered a Buddy Matthews moves with a different DDT. Oh my gosh. I can't believe how many times he did that. And then Matthews, of course, went after his hand. Keeping it, kicking it, stomping it, beating it, whatever. So Cassidy couldn't get the orange punch in, or the Superman punch. But it was a great back and forth match. Matthews had a lot of knee strikes and all that. But in the end, Orange Cassidy gets the win. And right now, he's probably the hardest working champion on the roster right now. He defends that thing like every week at least once, sometimes twice a week. Sometimes he'll defend it on Dynamite, then come back and defend it on Rampage.
Yeah.
Dude, take a couple weeks off. Heal up.
Yeah. Like we said many times, when Moxley deserved to have a vacation,
Yeah.
I would say Orange Cassidy has earned like some vacation time.
It seems like he's defending that title every week now.
Yeah.
He pretty much is.
Yeah.
And not only that, you just defended that shit against Buddy Matthews. Like, he'll fuck some people up. Like, ever since he left WWE and came over and joined Malachi, like, you can tell he really worked on himself. So yeah, he's no pushover anymore. So yeah, yeah, that was a tough fight for Orange, but he got the win. So yeah, he's a hard fighting champion, man. And for all those people that were saying, oh, he's just a comedy act. He can't really wrestle. All
Look at
this
him
and
now.
that. Look at him now. He's still the same Orange Cassidy we love, but he will back it up.
And you notice that he brought over the stomp from WWE,
Yeah,
the stomp that Seth Rollins taught him.
yeah. That's a badass stomp, dude. I like the way he hits it. So yeah, watch out for Buddy Matthews, but also lay off of Orange Cassidy. Okay, he can go. So now that we got Drew's moment in there, I'm gonna go ahead and go to mine, and mine's gonna be a very short moment, but it was fun. Wardlow out in the parking lot,
Yes.
destroying freaking Powerhouse Hobbs' car, which was given to him. I mean, who wouldn't be pissed off of your car getting destroyed? And not only that, but a free car. Like, you didn't even have to pay shit for it.
Yeah.
But here's the funny part.
Actually, Wardlow paid for it.
Yeah. So here's the funny part. Like, you get the front windshield smashed in, you get the back windshield smashed in. You did the
Headlights.
normal spots, right? Then Wardlow decides to hop on a forklift. And he pierces it through the side of the car. And he tries to lift it, but then he sees that that's not going to work. So he sets it back down, puts the forks underneath it, and flips it over. We've seen these kind of spots happen in WWE as well.
Yeah.
But then he hops off of the forklift, forgets to put that bitch in park, and it just rolls forward and just pushes the car a little bit and just stops right there. Now, I found it funny. Yes, I laughed and I enjoyed this whole bit. But whenever I saw the forklift rolling forward, me being a guy that would use a forklift on the job every day, I was like, oh, he forgot to put that bitch in park. His license is going to get revoked.
his certificate for
Oh, man. I can't
his
wait
forklift certification's been revoked.
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing he one time had a job where he used a forklift.
Yeah, because like he used it no problem.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they practiced it, but not with totaling a car.
Sure. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just found that shit pretty funny, and then the worker in me was like, "Why didn't you put that bitch in park?" But then it was funny because it rolled forward and just bumped it a little bit more. But yeah, a whole lot of people fucking love that shit. I was laughing my ass off and enjoyed it. But also kind of tied in with that was Powerhouse just beating the shit out of Silas Young. Another squash match. People felt bad for Silas Young. They think he deserves better, but
because it was
it's Powerhouse,
his
bro.
hometown. It was his hometown.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe give him a little bit more of a showing, but that's what they decided to do. There was a scary part after the match, though, when Wardlow powerbomb, what's his name? Aaron Solo.
Uh-huh.
And he completely missed the second table and bumped his head pretty bad. I haven't heard anything as far as him being injured, but still, you gotta be careful with those spots, man. Because concussions are a real thing. So,
Yeah.
But other than that little serious bit right there, it was all funny. So
We saw a lot of returns this week on Dynamite and Rampage.
hell yeah.
Not only, Jeff Hardy, but also Wardlow we had seen in a while. We saw the Young Bucks return. Kenny came back.
Speaking about Don Callis and his injuries.
Sean Spears, we saw him for the first time, and I can't remember when on Rampage last night.
Yeah.
And it's been
Well,
a
he had a
good
ba-
while.
Fluff had a baby, so he's been a dad.
Yeah,
That's why he's been gone.
yeah.
I
Enjoying
don't blame
fatherhood.
him. If that was me, the second one would be on the way. Because damn.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Peyton
Yeah.
Royce.
A lot of returns. A lot of returns this week. But hell yeah, Zach. Jeff is back, bro. This is what I'm telling you, Zach. A lot of people that hadn't watched AEW watched AEW this week. And they were like, if this is what we're missing out on, we should have been watching a long time ago. So yeah. Just
Don't forget
please,
the Swerve Derby match. Hell.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
was killer too.
Oh, Sting. That was another return that came out too.
Yeah.
Got MJF's face, yeah.
Yeah.
And a hell of a promo by Sting too.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, he's very much sober and feeling better now, Zach. But we still have worries if he's gonna if he's not gonna alter his style of wrestling to where he doesn't have to be as extreme anymore. We just figure it's gonna backslide, but we don't want it to. We're just trying to be realistic here. So
Maybe he can take after Sting style.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it when Sting was telling MJF that he called it Cody Daycare
yeah,
because MJF used to be under Cody.
yeah. I was surprised that they mentioned Cody, but at the same time, it made me laugh.
But you know what? I also think it might have been just a slip of the tongue, and Sting, like improv the rest.
Yeah,
Because he also had help from Wardlow at one point, Sean Spears at one point,
Yeah.
Pinnacle at one point.
Well, that was it. Sean Spears, FCR, Wardlow.
yeah. It was a very good week of returns.
And he also did a sing and dance with Jericho, so he wasn't by himself all this time.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's been real good shit, and yeah, it's gonna be an interesting end to the week because unfortunately, I think Raw is still gonna be stuck under the same old umbrella.
Yeah, like I said earlier, we're in a holding pattern until the draft because you don't want to really start any stories right now,
Yeah,
and all the stories except for the one that we wanted to are over now.
yeah. So we just have to.
Well, you're starting up a couple.
Yeah, and they still got the Usos and Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn floating around. Also, the Bloodline storyline is somewhat still has traction.
Yeah, Cody and Brock.
Yeah,
You had Xavier.
Cody.
You had Xavier challenging Gunther.
Yeah,
That was funny though, interrupting with the trombone. It's just rude.
Yeah, that was a little bit rude, but funny nonetheless. Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait a little bit longer, get over this holding pattern that WWE has. But draft is coming, so we won't have to wait for long. And y'all have been waiting for a very long time for this again, from what it seems like. So to see how he does, it is time to stump the brain.
Okay. Let's go Mania question. Who's the... How do I phrase this? Who's the only person after a Rumble match to point at the sign that did not win that Rumble match?
See, I gotta think because now I gotta go back to all my Rumble winners because I at least know that part. I know who won the Rumbles in what year. So. Well, see, because there have been several Rumble winners, I believe that pointed at the sign that didn't win. But I'm gonna go with Oscar.
No.
Hmm.
Good. Same Rumble. But Oscar pointed at the sign, but then she was interrupted.
By Ronda.
Ronda came
No, it
out
was Shinsuke.
pointed at the sign. No, it was Ronda.
Oh,
Ronda's the first person to point at the sign without winning that Rumble match.
oh, you know what? I misunderstood the question.
Oh.
I thought you said who was the first person to point at the sign but not win at Mania.
No.
I don't
The
know.
first person to point at the sign but not win.
I mean,
that Rumble.
yeah, I would have said that Ronda did.
Oh.
Damn it! Because I know there have been a few people that pointed at the sign and not won at Mania.
Yeah, they have been a couple.
I mean, there were two that night, Oscar and Shinsuke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Was it? Asuka was the first woman to win, right?
Yes,
Yeah, she won the first women's Rumble.
yeah,
yeah.
and she lost her undefeated streak against
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Against Charlotte.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they're finally building her back up though.
Yeah.
She just needs to get that win. Please be Bianca. Can we just get that? It's the
Can we get somebody to
Jade.
do it?
It's the Jade thing.
What
like we said.
isn't Io getting the next shot?
Yeah,
Yeah, Io and Bianca at Backlash.
yeah, because she took that chance from Bailey.
Yeah,
So
they're teasing splitting up there too.
yeah, that's the rumor, is that they're gonna get split up next. But I think that would be good
Yeah,
because Bailey needs to do her thing separately now.
I wouldn't mind actually having like Io win the title and Bailey and Dakota's going after tag titles.
but that's just say who's going to turn on who.
Yeah,
I think
No,
Io
I'm
and
just saying that they can still be they can still be a faction. You just swap around different. Like this time it's Io's turn to be champion. And when she loses, maybe next time it's Dakota's time. And the other two can go after titles.
I think Dakota and Io are going to turn on Bailey, and Bailey's going to become a face again.
and
Are we
then
gonna
and then we'll get everything back.
Are we going to get hugging? The
Hugger
hugger?
Bailey.
Hugger Bailey.
Oh, good lord.
The
No, I'd rather have a
buddies.
heel.
Yeah,
No,
I'd
those
rather have-
guys.
I'd rather have a heel than Hugger Bailey.
I don't think she would go full Hugger.
Oh,
Hugger Bailey.
make me dust off my hugger section sign. Yep, still have it.
Yeah, me too. It's still. I have it in the book.
Same. It's
Well-
the safest place to keep it.
Yeah.
I got 1 out of 4. Hot.
Yeah,
Me too.
Yeah, I got a 1 out of 4.
Same here. But to end it off, I want to have one more. Let's
Drew?
all have one more.
You in? You know what?
Normal, regular, with just a little spice.
Normal.
I got 3. So
Okay, I think that was spice.
Oh, never mind. I lied.
You can get you at the end.
I lied. Ooh. You don't want intern? Intern don't want any either.
Those
If
were
you wanna
all
try-
regular.
If y'all want to try these out, again, they're Doritos Roulette. You can buy them
Yeah,
anywhere you buy chips.
definitely buy the Doritos Roulette. Maybe hot,
Maybe
maybe
hot,
not.
maybe not.
Take your chances like we did.
They come in
Doritos?
cool Ranch and nacho cheese.
Doritos, please sponsor us.
Sure, why not?
Sure. We got to shoot the shot. Yeah, but we'll see what happens this week. There's the chances of it being interesting and having some cool shit happen. Even though WWE is in a little bit of that weird spot, like we said, they can still make some shit work. So we're gonna have to wait and see how that goes. And yeah, Cool Ranch or nothing. Zach says. I guess he likes the Cool Ranch.
I like Cool Ranch too. I just got nacho cheese.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Cool Ranch because I like
Yeah,
those better.
I got a bag of Cool Ranch right over here. So.
Yeah, you cheating ass. All right.
I didn't cheat. I took it out of the same bag.
I know, we just messing with you. Yeah, so like
I told him I was going to
always,
empty this bag and fill it with.
you gonna mix them up even more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shake up the bag.
hell yeah, shake up the bag. But like always, if you have any questions or comments, WrestleLost@gmail.com, WrestleLost on Facebook, and don't forget to give us a follow, like, and subscribe here on Twitch and on YouTube. So, hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend. Remember that Johnny and I are going to the record store on Monday, so we will be back live on Thursday to show y'all what we found, what we liked, what we didn't like, and all that good shit, and share some more music stories with y'all. So, until then, hope everybody enjoys the rest of your weekend, and talk to y'all later.
See you next week.